Hello, dear basic scholars. You are welcome to our online class. This is GMAETS41 Basic Class Channel, a channel dedicated to our beloved basic scholars. Scholars, pupils, and students in grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. Once again, I say welcome to this class. Today we are going to deal with part 4 of fractions, addition and subtraction of fractions. In our previous class, I taught you the concept of reduction of fractions to their lowest term. And I hope you have done well there. You've been able to go through your work, what you copied, you have watched the lesson again and again. You have done your assignment and then tested your ability to show that, yes, you understood what we treated under reduction of fractions. So I welcome you to the next aspect of fractions, addition and subtraction of fractions. All right. When you're dealing with addition and subtraction of fractions, what should you take note of? Before we move on into solving examples, solving problems on addition and subtraction of fractions, I would like to give you the secrets. Like I said, GMAETS41 here in our school, our online school for those in basic class, we always give you secrets you need. Get these secrets. You can play with any question that you are given to solve in your school. All right? Now, what is the secret of handling problems on fractions? If you want to add and subtract fractions, what is the secret? And I'll tell you as simple as this. Okay? You need an excellent knowledge of the following. I'm going to write this short note on the board. Please copy along. To solve problems, that is questions, all right, on addition and subtraction of fractions, addition and subtraction of fractions. Remember the following. Remember the following. So these are the secrets. You want to have excellent knowledge of these secrets. Number 1. You want to remember, first of all, your L.C.M. Remember, number 1, how to find L.C.M. This is secret number 1. Okay? Which means for a pupil, right, or a student, your friends in basic level of learning. And I must say this also, even those in higher class, in senior classes, in university, even if this channel is dedicated to our scholars in basic level, the truth is that even you at higher level, you need this secret as well too. Yeah, you need this secret. I've met a couple of people whom I teach at higher level, and I found out that all of us, we need this secret. So if you are in higher class and you are connected to this class, make sure you follow up with this lesson very well. And for those in basic class, this is the opportunity to learn this very well. If you are handling addition and subtraction of fractions, the first and most important thing is you should know how to obtain L.C.M. And in this class, I am going to be exposing you to wonderful, fastest way of getting to know L.C.M. of numbers. You will not want to miss out on this fastest way of getting the lowest common multiple of numbers. In fact, if you know that, then this whole thing we usually do by drawing a vertical line and then write the number whose LCM we want to find on the right. they'll start using from 2 going up to divide. You wouldn't need that. But if you want to be very fast in this secret, then number 2, excellent knowledge. Remember the following. Have excellent knowledge. Have excellent knowledge of multiplication. Have excellent knowledge of multiplication. And someone may now wonder, multiplication again? Someone may now wonder, multiplication again? Yes. Yes. Multiplication again. Multiplication again. So, dear friends, don't joke with your multiplication. Remember, we will be managing the network situation. If the network messes up, I will try to boost it. Always stay tuned. If you are logged out, maybe due to network challenge, be patient. I would always go through my own way of boosting the network. Okay? I always find my own way of boosting the network so that we'll continue the class. Does that make sense? You must be tough, as GMAETS41 is tough. I tell you what I face to make sure we have our online classes, live classes. It's not funny, but I don't give up. Just about to start this class, power holding company struck. Immediately, if I had started the class, everywhere could have gone dark, you know. But thanks to God, I had not started a class when they struck. They took their light. And of course, I had to make another arrangement. All right. So you want to have excellent knowledge of multiplication. So when you say multiplication again, yes, multiplication again. So if you have not learned a multiplication, quickly go and start practicing it. From at least 2 times table to 9 times table. From at least 2 times table to what? 9 times table. You should have excellent knowledge of your multiplication. Once you have these 2 secrets at heart, your problem is solved. Once you have these 2 secrets at heart, your problem in handling addition and subtraction of fractions is solved. I did not talk about division. Because once you are good with multiplication, you are good with multiplication, you have conquered division. Please be patient. Let me see if I have to boost the network. I don't know, it seems to be hanging here, right? Let me check. I might have to boost the network. Be patient, please. All right, I've boosted the network a bit. So let's see what we can do. The network just keeps hanging and hanging. Like I said, you have to be patient. I did not talk about division as a secret, because like I said, once you have excellent knowledge of multiplication, you have conquered your division. So I'm going to leave it at multiplication. Let multiplication guide us to understand division. Let multiplication guide us to handle division. So having given you these secrets, the things that you must remember, the things that you must know, we shall move on to our first example without wasting time. As a matter of fact, this is part 4A. Because there are certain type of questions I won't solve in this class. We're going to take it step by step. Remember, the whole idea is to help you learn and learn very well so that you will be excellent at school. You'll be best, right? And then in your studies, as you move in higher to higher classes, you'll be enjoying them. So this channel is not a channel to rush you, no. Step by step. So just make sure you always connect to our classes. If you have not subscribed, subscribe immediately. And after subscribing, don't stop there. Do something quickly. Click on the notification bell. After clicking on the notification bell, select all, so that anytime I have class, you will be notified immediately by YouTube. Let's take our first question here. This is on operation on fraction. Operations on fraction. You can add, you can subtract, you can multiply and divide fractions. You can add, you can subtract, you can multiply and divide fractions. We are looking at addition and subtraction of fractions today. Example 1. Example 1. The network is still trying to hang somehow. Please permit me, let me check through the camera. Let me boost the network once again. All right. So let us see this question. Find the sum of 1/6 and 3/4. 1/6 and 3/4. We have to find the sum. Solution. We know that sum means addition. Sum means what? Addition. All right. I think I can start solving from here. Solution. So we have to add 1/6 and 3/4. Each of them is a fraction. Each of them is a fraction. So we are adding 1/6 and 3/4. How do we know that we are adding? Look at the word sum. Sum means to add. So I am solving 1/6 plus 3/4. 1/6 plus 3/4. That is what I am solving. Now, how do we handle this? To solve 1/6 plus 3/4 requires that you have to go through the L.C.M. So the question would be, what is the L.C.M. of this number? Okay, I'm going to show you quickly. This network, please be calm. Okay, let us get L.C.M. of the denominator. L.C.M. of denominator, that's the first thing you have to do. L.C.M. of denominator, 6 and 4, is, for you to get the L.C.M. of a number, what is the fastest way to do that? Multiply the numbers together, divide by their highest common factor. I've taught you highest common factor, HCF. Yeah, for basic level. So if you want to get the LCM of any number, any two or more numbers, simply multiply them, 6 times 4, and then divide by their highest common factor. What is the highest common factor of 6 and 2? The highest number that can divide 6 and divide 2. So you see the rules of divisibility, you need it here as well too. The rules of divisibility, you need it here as well. We will continue to manage the situation, okay? Now, I said the first thing you have to do is to find the LCM of the denominators. The LCM of 6 and 4, how do you get it? Whenever I want to find LCM of numbers, the best thing to do quickly, multiply the numbers and divide by their highest common factor. Okay? There are some cases you might not need to punish yourself doing that, even if this is the best way of finding LCM of numbers faster. But there are some problems that might be given to you. You may not need to go through that way. I'll be showing them to you one after the other. Okay? I'll be showing them to you one after the other. For 6 and 4, the smaller number between them is 4. 4 cannot divide 6 without remainder. 4 cannot divide 6. Let's just say that. If you do 6 divided by 4, you must get a remainder. So simply we say 4 cannot divide 6. But you find out that 6 and 4, they have a highest number that can divide both of them. We refer to it as highest common factor. In our previous class, I showed you something like that, how to reduce fraction using HCF method. So for us to now get the LCM of the denominator, what we have to do is multiply the denominators. Look at it. And then divide by their highest common factors. By the highest common factor, rather. If you divide by the highest common factor, I've done the division, and then I'm left with 6 times 2. 6 times 2 gives us 12. So the LCM of 6 and 4 is 12. The LCM of 6 and 4 is 12. Therefore, we can solve this question that it implies, it means that 1 over 6 plus 3 over 4 will now be equal to that LCM, which is 12, you write it this way. That LCM, which is 12, you write it this way. Okay? I'm using this to track the network, and I don't know. The network is just hanging and keeps hanging. I don't know. All right, let's move on, please. The LCM, which is 12, we'll write it below and then draw a division line this way. We'll draw a division line this way, and then you start. This LCM, which is 12, there are two different approaches that would still give you the same result if you wish to. 12 divided by 6, which is the general thing many people do. 12, you come to this fraction 1 over 6. Then come to this LCM, 12 divided by 6. That will give you 2, you know. Use that 2 to multiply 1. You will get 2. Once again, come to this fraction. 12 divided by 6. You will get what? You will get 2. Use the 2 to multiply the numerator. 2 times 1 will give you 2. Another different approach you can use, which is still going to give you the same result, is that LCM. Bring it to this numerator. So that 12, bring it here. Okay? It's going to be 12 times 1. But don't go and multiply to get any results. Don't multiply to get any result. Just bring that 12 here. Then the denominator, which is 6, will reduce that 12. The denominator, which is 6, will reduce that 12 you brought here. 6 reduces 12. You have 2 left. 2 times 1 will give you 2. The same thing as what I did, 12 divided by 6, 2 times 1, 2. But for me, to tell you the truth, I usually don't like even doing that. I like using the LCM to multiply the numerators, but I will not multiply it out to get any answer. I will just take that numerator up. Look at what I mean. 1 over 6. Just bring 12 there. And you can work this from your brain. You know, you can work it using the network of your brain, rather. 6 here is 1, 6 here is 2. 1 times 2, you now get the 2 that will be here. If you come to this fraction, 3 over 4, before it you have plus. Look at the plus. Look at the plus. Then, come to this fraction, this 3 over 4. Take that LCM 12 to meet 3. You're going to have 3 and then times 12 over 4. You can now reduce. 4 can divide 4, you have 1. 4 can divide 12, you have what? 3. So that 3 times 3 will give you what? 9. It is still the same as doing 12 divided by 4. You get 3. Use that 3 to multiply the 3 that is on top, the numerator. This network is not friendly at all. The network is not friendly at all. The network is not friendly at all. Let me boost it again. So I am going to repeat this once again. The network is just trying to mess what I'm doing here up, but all the same, let me repeat it once again. Like I said, you have gotten the LCM, so bring out the fraction you are solving. 1 over 6 plus 3 over 4 equal to, draw your division line. That LCM, which is 12, write it as denominator. Then move on. 12 divided by 6 will give you 2. Use the 2 to multiply this one, you still get 2. So come to this fraction, use the LCM. The LCM divide by the denominator. Whatever it gives to you, use it to multiply the numerator. Or you can decide to say, okay, let the LCM go to the numerator, 12 times 1. But don't multiply it out. You just have 12 times 1 there, you know. You work it out from the network of your brain. You have 12 times 1 or 1 times 12. Then this is over 6. This 6 will divide 6, you get 1. 6 will divide 12, you get 2. Then 2 times 1 will give you 2. So it's simple. Take this 12 up here. Use this 6 to divide it. It will give you 2. 2 times 1 will give you what? 2. Then before you move on to this fraction, fix your plus. Fix your what? Plus. And repeat the same thing. Repeat what? The same thing. This LCM 12 divided by 4 will give you 3. Use the 3 to multiply the 3 in the numerator. You will get 9. Use the 3 to multiply the 3 in the numerator. You will get what? 9. This network is just very, very unfriendly this evening. So friendly this evening. All right. 3 divided by 4, you get, 12 divided by 4, you get 3. Use that 3 to multiply the numerator. 3, you get 9. Or, you can simply take this 12 to the numerator, but don't use it to multiply this 3. Just have 12 times 3 like that. You work it out from the network of your brain. We are saying you're going to have 12 and then times 3 over 4. You now know if you take this 12 up, this denominator 4 is going to reduce it. And if it reduces it, 4 can divide 4, 1. 4 into 12, you get 3. Then you now have 3 times 3, which will give you 9, as I said earlier. I hope that's clear, right? So you have any of the two approaches I used here. You have any one of them to choose. Either you use the LCM divided by the denominator of the fraction. Anything you get, use it to multiply the numerator. After that, you record your results. Move to the next fraction. Before you move to it, any sign you see here, you make use of that sign. You can see plus. If this were to be minus, this will be minus. Is that okay? Or you can decide to use the LCM, take it up to the numerator directly, assuming it is multiplying the numerator, but don't get any answer. Like in this case, 12 times 3 should give you 36. But don't write 36 because the number will become big. Dividing will now become difficult. Assume that the 12 LCM is in the numerator. Then use the denominator to reduce it. Anything you get, use it to multiply whatever that is left. Look at it. Okay? So these are the ways you handle this. And I think from here you can now conclude. This is now equal to 2 plus 9 is 11. And then this is 11 over 12. And you have solved this problem. You have solved it. We can now conclude, therefore, 1 over 6 plus 3 over 4 is equal to 11 over 12. That is our answer. So you see, addition and subtraction of fraction is a very simple process. Are you getting me right? It's a very simple process. And the way you do addition is the same way you handle subtraction. Now, if you look at this whole thing that we did here, we only needed the knowledge of LCM and, of course, the knowledge of multiplication. Multiplication helped us out in division here. All right? Multiplication helped us out in division here. So that's it. Let us move on to our second question. Let us move on to our second question. This network is just doing anyhow this evening. Example 2. So let us see what we have in example 2. In example 2, we are asked to evaluate evaluate rather 6, okay, let me write it here, 6 over 7 plus 4 over 5 plus 1 over 35. We have to evaluate this fraction. We have to evaluate this fraction. Now I want to find out how to get the LCM of something like this. Remember how I obtained the LCM of this fraction. Look at the two denominators, right? And then ask yourself, can the smaller number divide the bigger one without remainder? In this case, the answer is no. Therefore, to get the LCM, multiply both of them and divide by the highest common factor. If this 4 could divide 6 without remainder, if a smaller denominator can divide a bigger denominator without remainder, the LCM will simply be the bigger denominator. Let us solve this. Solution. I have 6 over 7 plus 4 over 5 plus 1 over 35. So quickly you get the LCM. Quickly you get what? The LCM. So you're going to get LCM of, let me write it here. You find LCM of 7, 5, and 35. Let me write the and in word, 35. LCM of these denominators. So what do? Now observe. Ask yourself. You have smaller numbers, you have bigger numbers, right? So ask yourself, this smaller number, can it divide this bigger number? And the answer is yes. 5 can divide 35. There will be no remainder. Rules of divisibility will tell you that this number ended with 5. Therefore, 5 can divide it. I've talked about that already under the rules of divisibility. Since this smaller number can divide this bigger number without remainder, it means if you are considering 5 and 35 only, the LCM will be the bigger number, which is 35. Even if you want to go through this approach, what I say that multiply both of them and divide by the highest common factor. If you multiply 35 and 5, 5 times 35, divided by the highest common factor of these two numbers is still 5. If you divide it, you're left with 35, and 35 will be the LCM. Are you following right? 35 will be what? The LCM. This network has started again. I hope you're following right. So for this 5 and 35, this 35 covers for it already. So drop the 35. The LCM, considering 5 and 35, is 35. Now come and check for 7. Can 7 divide this bigger number? Yes. 7 can divide this bigger number, 35. If 7 divides 35, you are going to get 5. 7 can divide 35, and there will be no remainder. Because 7 can divide 35 and there will be no remainder, it means that if you're considering 7 and 35, the LCM will still be what? 35. 7 can divide 35 without remainder. So the LCM considering 7 and 35 will still be what? 35. So you see, I have done this analysis. I've explained all of this. That this smaller number 5 can divide this bigger number 35. This 7 smaller number can also divide this bigger number 35. Therefore, the LCM is the bigger number 35. And that is how you get the LCM of this number. We can now, of these fractions rather, their denominators. So it means that, it implies that 6 over 7 plus 4 over 5 plus 1 over 35 will now be equal to, you repeat the same thing as I did there. The LCM, which is 35, you write it here, okay? LCM of this guy is equal to 35. I've already explained how I got it. Are you getting me right? So you don't need to go punishing yourself doing this thing. LCM of 7 and 7, 5, 35, write 5, you do 7, do 35. You start dividing. What's the smallest number that can go? 5 can go. You have 1 here, 7, you have 7 here, and then 7 can, you don't do that. You don't do that. When you are solving fraction, it is not LCM you are solving. So you don't need to show this. It's not necessary. Going to do it, you are wasting that time. You should know the trick, the fastest approach of getting LCM. And you see, I've shown you for this one. When you have two numbers, but the smaller one cannot divide the bigger one. However, they have a common, highest common factor. What you will do to get the HCF is simply multiply those numbers and divide by their highest common factor. Now, this one shows us another way you can quickly get your LCM. When you have numbers and you want to find your LCM, and you find out that the smaller number can divide the bigger one without remainder, the LCM is simply the bigger one. So we go. 35 is the LCM now. So what do? Bring that 35 to this numerator. That is going to be 35 times 6. But don't multiply to get any answer. Don't. Assuming you have 35 here now, reduce that 35 by this 7. So you now ask yourself, 35 divided by 7. If 7 divides 35, you get 5. So on top here will now be 5. Use that 5 to multiply this 6. 5 times 6 will give you 30. You can still decide to go by the normal way. Many other people like working this out. The usual ways. Okay, 35. Come to this fraction. LCM 35 divided by this denominator 7. You will get 5. Then use that result 5 to multiply the numerator. You still get the same thing. 5 times 6 is 30. Look at it. But like I said, for me, I prefer that it's best that the student should use the LCM to multiply the numerator. There is a reason for that. Under simple equation, one of the best way of clearing fraction in an equation is using the LCM. This network. You see, it's just hanging and hanging and hanging. I don't know. If you want to clear fraction, one of the best way of handling it is using the LCM. That is clearing fraction in an equation. It is using the LCM to multiply all the numerator. And while you're using the LCM to multiply the numerator, you will respect each of the denominators, because in that case, the denominator must reduce that LCM you're using to multiply. That is why I'm introducing that approach now, where I am saying, instead of doing LCM divided by the denominator, anything you get, use it to multiply the numerator the normal way we usually do it. I will prefer, have it in mind that the LCM should come to the numerator, then reduce it by the denominator. Whatever you get, use it to multiply that numerator that you have there. Okay? Like I said, 35 is the LCM. Let it come here. 7 will reduce it, you get 5. 5 times 6 will give you 30. I think I have to boost this network. I don't know. It's just hanging a bit. All right, let's move on. We'll repeat the same thing. Before we move on to this fraction, you have your plus. So you write your plus. Okay? You write your what? Plus. The LCM is 35. Bring the 35 to this numerator where you have 4. Then divide that 35 by the denominator 5. If 5 divides 35, you'll be left with 7. Use the 7 to multiply this 4. 7 times 4 will give you 28. Write the 28 here. Then move on to this last fraction. Before this last fraction, you have your plus. Whatever the sign is here, that is what you will write. If it is minus, you fix minus. Are you getting me right? And then repeat the same thing for this fraction. This LCM 35, bring it to the numerator. This denominator will reduce that LCM. The LCM is 35. 35 divided by 35 will give you 1 in the numerator. Then 1 times 1 is 1. So I'm going to have 1 here. Don't mind me, I'm always kind of trying to check out what is happening in the network here. I'm using this to track your end to be sure that network, is in order. All right, that's it. So sometimes I just take my eyes there to be sure that it's still, playing. The thing is working. So we are done with this. And like I said, please, my dear students, all right, whether you're in basic class or you are in high senior class connecting to this particular live class, it is best anytime you are working out fraction to learn it through this approach, that let the LCM go to the numerator and then you reduce it by the denominator. Anything you get, use it to multiply the original numerator. It will help you as you move on. In higher classes. I've given you one example in the case of clearing of fraction in an equation. All right, dear student, let's move on. Simplify this. 30 plus 28 will give you 58. 58 plus 1 will give you 59. So this is 59 all over 35. 59 over 35. Now we could talk of leaving our answer like this. But if you look at this fraction. This is improper fraction. Now, generally, your examiner, your teacher, your professional exam, when you talk about common entrance, when you talk about BESE, the one those in grade 9, students in grade 9 write, we don't usually like leaving answers in improper form. So anytime you see something like this, you get your result in improper fraction form, it is advised you change it to mixed fraction. So I'm going to write or. Now, how do I get this thing in mixed fraction? Remember, the numerator is 59. It's bigger than the denominator 35. That is why this is improper fraction. Here, once we just simplified, I got this, and this was the answer. I didn't do any other thing. Because this fraction we obtain as our final answer is proper fraction. See, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. But here, the numerator is bigger than the denominator, so it is improper fraction. You have to change it to mixed fraction. And how do you do that? Use your knowledge of multiplication to conquer your division here. Are you getting me right? Get your whole number, get the remainder, and that's all. I have taught this very well under basic arithmetic, division specifically, how to convert improper fraction to mixed fraction. So these things are 1 plus 1. Your excellent knowledge of multiplication is what you need. Let's go. How many times can 35 go into 59? It can go only one time. How many times I said? One time. How do you get the remainder? To get the remainder, use that one whole number of times to multiply 35. 1 times 35 will give you what? 35. 1 whole times 35 will give you that 35. Remember, we say that 35 can go into 59. How many times? 1 whole time. How do you now get the remainder? To get the remainder, use that 1 whole time, the whole number of times that the denominator divided the numerator, use it to multiply the denominator. Look at it, 1 times 35. Then subtract this from what you divided. We divided 59. So it is going to be this network. Okay, it's going to be 59 minus this whole number you got times the denominator you used in dividing. This is how you get remainder. And like I said, I've covered all of this. I've taught you under division, basic arithmetics. So if you're having problems, this thing is hanging a bit now. If you're having problems on how to get mixed fraction from improper fraction, take that lesson on division. Are you following right? Take that lesson on division. All right. So from here, 1 times 35 is 35. 59 minus 35 is going to give you 24. It's going to give you what? 24. So the result here is 35 can go into 59 1 whole time. So that's going to be 1 whole number. The remainder, like I said, will be 24. If you work this out, the remainder will be what? 24. So that's going to be 1 whole number, remainder 24. Remainder 24 over what you used in dividing. We use 35 to divide. So this is how we obtain our result, answer. Okay, so we are saying conclusively, therefore, that 6 over 7 plus 4 over 5 plus 1 over 35, the answer is either 59 over 35 or 1 whole number 2 over 35. This is hanging now. See, hanging, it's hanging, it's hanging, it's hanging. Just searching for network. But it's possible that maybe at your end that is not happening. It is possible. It's possible that at your end it's not hanging. Anything can happen in this network. All right, dear friends, I hope you understand how I solved this question. There are 2 main points you want to take to heart here. There are 2 main points you want to bear in mind. Number 1, how I got the L.C.M. How I got what? The L.C.M. I have to boost this network a bit. I don't know. I have to boost the network a bit. Be patient, please. Okay, but I can see your friends connected, which shows that you are following from your end. So let me still leave it. Let me leave it, although it's hanging a bit here, I guess so. To just hang and then unfreeze, hang and unfreeze, you know. I don't know. We are going to continue managing. We're going to continue managing. So how I obtain this LCM is very important. Anytime you have denominators, you have numbers, you want to get their LCM, check the smaller number, the bigger one. The smaller number and the bigger one. If the smaller one can divide the bigger one without remainder, the LCM is simply the bigger one. In a case where you have numbers, you want to find their LCM, you now find out that the smaller number cannot divide the bigger one, but they have a common highest number. That is, they have a highest common factor that can divide both of them. To get the LCM, simply multiply both of them and divide by the highest common factor. You get your LCM. Now let us look at our third question. Question number 3. You're going to wipe this. Okay, I think having explained how you get your LCM, like in this question, the next thing that I want to take note of, which I am explaining, although it is not a law, it is not a rule, but I suggest it, that whenever you are doing LCM divide by this, anything you get times that, instead of going that way, because of the advantage you will get as you are moving ahead in other topics. I've mentioned the application of this in simple equation, how to clear fraction. I advise that whenever you get the LCM, take that LCM with the network of your brain, your mind. Take the LCM to the numerator and then reduce it by the denominator. Are you following, right? Reduce it by the what? Denominator. Anything you get, use it to multiply the numerator. Remember how I got this 30, 28, and 1? What did I do? This is the LCM. I assumed it to be on top here. 35. 35 divided by 7 will give you 5. That 5 will multiply 6, you get 30. Again, the LCM here, 35. 35 divided by 5, you get 7. 7 times 4, 28. Once again, this LCM 35, I assume it to be in the numerator. That 35 LCM divided by this denominator 35, you get 1. 1 times 1 will give you 1. So that's another key thing you want to remember. It will be best to learn this thing in that way. I know why I'm saying that. Then finally, how I changed this improper fraction to what? Mixed fraction. I did not do that here because for this question number 1, the final answer we got is already in what? In proper fraction. So no need of converting anything. And 11 and 12, nothing can reduce them. So that becomes the final answer. This is proper fraction. You have a bigger number in the denominator. But look at this one. This is improper fraction. You have a smaller number in the denominator. So you can still convert it to a mixed fraction. Let's take question number 3. Let's take question number 3. Example 3. Example 3. Subtract, or let me use the word, find the difference. Find the difference. Difference means what? Subtraction. Find the difference between (1 over 5) and 3 over 4. 1 over 5 and what? 3 over 4. Solution. If you hear difference in mathematics, the difference between numbers, the difference between things, it is subtraction in terms of basic arithmetic sign. So here we are asked to subtract. Find the difference between 1 over 5 and 3 over 4. So what do? Usually, whenever you are given a problem like this, you will be expected to get the positive difference. You will be expected to get what? The positive difference. Which means that the bigger fraction will come before the smaller fraction. 3 over 4 is bigger than 1 over 5. So we write, we are solving 3 over 4 minus 1 over 5. That's what we are solving. So we can now find the LCM. LCM of the denominators. LCM of 4 and 5 is equal to, now look at these two numbers, the denominators 4 and 5. The smaller number 4 cannot divide 5, cannot divide a bigger number. It cannot. It cannot. And there is no common number, no highest common factor. I mean, there is no number that can divide 4 and at the same time divide 5. Like a common number that can divide 4 and 5. No such number. No such number. So to get the LCM of these, simply multiply both of them, just like the way we did in question 1. 4 and 5, the highest common factor is 1. And you know, if you divide anything by 1, you're still getting that same thing. So this is simply 4 times 5. If you want to divide by anything, you divide by 1, but that is a waste of time. If you do that, the LCM will be what? 20. So whenever you have any number and a prime number, 5 is a prime number here. If you have any number and a prime number, or you have two prime numbers, their LCM is simply to multiply both of them. Is that clear? The LCM is simply to do what? Multiply both of them. All right, let us proceed. We are now going to solve this question exactly the way we had solved the other ones. 3 over, it implies that 3 over 4 minus 1 over 5 is equal to, the LCM is 20, we said. Draw your division line, write your LCM 20 below, and then you repeat the same process all together. 20, take it up here. Don't write it there. You can do all these things with the network of your brain. So we assume 20 to be here. Reduce that 20 by this denominator. 4 can divide 20 to give you 5. That 5 times 3 will give you 15. So I'm going to write 15 here. I am done with this fraction. Before I cross to this fraction, I have subtraction here, minus. So I'll fix minus, minus. Then come to the second fraction. Let us take our last question. Example 4. Example 4. Let us look at our last question, example 4. Example 4. Solve Let's look at this. Trying to see what I would give you. Okay, let's look at this. Solve 3 over 5 minus 1 over 2 minus, let's say, 7 over 15. Let us solve this one and see what we're going to get. I just have to figure this out. There is something about the LCM I want you to learn. Okay? I don't know if at the end, if this is going to give us minus at the end. I don't know, but I don't care. Whatever it gives to us, no problem. The way you get the LCM of this fraction is my interest. Solution: 3 over 5 minus 1 over 2 minus 7 over 15. Let's say 7 over 15, or should I make this, let me make it, okay, let me say 1 over 15, so that we won't get a negative result. I will not want us to get negative answer. 1 over 15, I think that's okay. Or let me make it 2 over 15. 2 over 15 is better. All right, so let's see how we solve this problem. Now, how do you get the LCM of this number quickly? Very simple. Remember the trick, okay? I am not going to write too much. LCM of this, and that. Follow up. You know, we're trying to get the LCM of 5, 2, and 15. So watch. Ask yourself, this small number, can it divide this biggest number? Can it? No. 2 cannot divide 15. 2 cannot. It means that 15 cannot cover for 2. 15 cannot cover for 2. 2 cannot divide 15. So if you are to find the LCM of 2 and 15 alone, it is going to be 2 times 15, and then you divide by the highest common factor. And the highest common factor of 2 and 15 is 1, because 2 is also a prime number. 2 is a prime number. It is also even number, because it has only 2 factors, 1 and 2 itself. I've taught you the concept or explained the idea of prime numbers for you. So for these 2 and 15, to get the LCM, it is to multiply both of them. Okay. Now let us look at this small number also, 5. Can 5 divide this 15? Yes. 5 can divide this biggest number, 15. Since 5 can divide this 15, it means that 15 will cover for this 5 when you are talking about the LCM. If it was 5 and 15 that I have in the denominator, the LCM could have been what? 15. So since 15 will cover for 5, when you are looking for the LCM of these 3 numbers, you don't bother about this 5. Keep it aside, because 15 covers for it. So your problem is just 2 and 15. Once you get the LCM of 2 and 15, you have also gotten the LCM of this 5 inclusive here. The LCM of 2 and 15, I've told you, 2 cannot divide 15. 2 cannot. So to get the LCM, you multiply both of them. Now, what is the highest common factor of 2 and 15? It is 1. So 2 times 15 divided by 1 will still give you 2 times 15. And 2 times 15 is 30. So the LCM is what? 30. I'll write 30 and then the division line. Bring this 30 up here, okay, and divide it by 5. If 5 divided 30 you have there, you're going to get 6. 6 times 3 will give you 18. Write your 18 here. Write your 18. Now, before you move on to the next fraction, you have minus here, so you fix minus. Repeat the same thing. The LCM is 30. Bring that 30 up here with your mind. If 30 is here, divide it, reduce it by this 2. If 2 divides 30, you're going to get 15. Use the 15 to multiply 1, you'll get 15. And then finally, 30, bring it here. Before you move to this last fraction, you have minus, so you fix your minus there. 30, bring it up here with your mind, and then divide that 30 by this 15. 30 divided by 15 will give you 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So you write your 4 here. Eventually, the thing is going to give us a negative answer, but it doesn't matter. It is good that we get negative answer, so that you will be aware that if you can be given some fractions where your final answer will be minus, it doesn't matter. Okay, if you solve it correctly and you get minus, still feel free to write it. 18 minus 15 will give you 3. 3 minus 4 will give you minus 1. Once again, 18 minus 15 is 3. 3 minus 4 is minus 1. Divide it by the denominator 30. Minus 1 over 30 is a proper fraction. Nothing can divide 1. Nothing can divide 30. As in, nothing can divide 1 and 30, so you leave it like that. See, if you get any answer such that that fraction can still reduce. I have taught you reduction of fraction from our previous class. You have to reduce. For example, if I have, let's say, 2 over 30, for example, as my final answer, 2 and 30 can still reduce. 2 will divide 2 to give you 1. 2 will divide 30 to give you 15. So that the answer is 1 over 15. Remember that. Remember that. Very important. Anytime you are done solving and your final answer, the fraction can still be reduced, please reduce it. That is why I taught you reduction of fraction before this part of fraction. Okay, let us conclude. We have gotten our answer here. Therefore, 3 over 5 minus 1 over 2 minus 2 over 15 is equal to, the final answer is minus 1 over 30. Answer. And this is how we have come to the end of our class today. Addition and subtraction of fractions, part 1. Part 1 because in our next math class, we are going to learn addition of fractions, subtraction of fractions, when you have mixed fraction. When you have what? Mixed fraction in the question. We're going to focus on that. All the questions we'll solve then, you must see mixed fraction there. Are you getting me right? How do you handle such addition and subtraction of fractions that contain mixed fraction? All the things you learned today, please don't forget them. First, the quickest way you can find LCM of numbers if you are solving addition and subtraction of fraction. It's also important for you to know that any day, any time, in any subject, you are trying to answer a question, and before you know, you start seeing fraction. And the fraction you are adding or subtracting. Please, don't wait for anybody to tell you that you need to go through LCM method. Anytime you are adding or subtracting fraction, you must follow this principle, this road. Yes, you have to find the LCM of the denominator. Then you use that LCM to multiply the numerator, divide by the denominator you have there. You know, just what I did here. So addition and subtraction of fraction always go through this LCM approach. You don't wait for anybody to tell you this is what you are meant to do. Imagine I come to you and then I give you 2/3 plus 1/8. Immediately, the denominator is 3 and 8. So find the LCM of 3 and 8, which is 24. Then 24 divided by 3, anything you get, of course, which is 8, use it to multiply the numerator. Or that 24, take it to be in the numerator, divide it by 3, you get 8. 8 times that numerator, get your answer and write it out. Addition and subtraction of fractions go through LCM method. Are you following right? And then you do all these things that I did in solving the question. The way you handle addition and subtraction is different from the way you do multiplication and division. That is why I am emphasizing this. That is why I am saying this again and again. There is a pattern of solving addition and subtraction of fraction, and you have learned it. You have known how to quickly get your LCM. You have also learned that if you get your answer and the answer is an improper fraction, you have to convert it, change it to mixed fraction. You have also learned, although we didn't meet any such answer, but I said it here, that if your final answer, the fraction can still reduce, please reduce it to the lowest term. You've also learned that it is possible for you to get a negative answer, a minus answer at the end of everything. Don't be scared if your teacher gives you any question that you solve correctly and the final answer is giving you minus. Feel free to put the minus there. Thank you for connecting to this class, and I hope you learned something wonderful. I'm going to give you 1-2 assignment, okay? So you work on it. Send your answer to me after solving the assignment, okay? Assignment. Solve the following fraction. Evaluate the following fractions. Evaluate. Let me even say simplify, because that word can be used. Simplify the following fractions. The following fractions. Simplify the following fractions. Can be asked, simplify, evaluate, solve. For fraction, that's any of those words can be used. Question number 1. 1/8 plus 1/3. Question 2. 2/3 plus 1/8. Now minus 1/3. So you see, here you have plus, here you have minus. So you follow it in that way. When you are done with this fraction, to move on to this one, you fix plus. If you are done with this, to move on to this fraction, you fix what? Minus. Is that clear? So solve these 2 questions, all right? Or do I add another one? Let me make it 3 for you. Let me make it 3 for you. Okay, how about this? How about this? 7/8 minus 7/8 minus 3/8. I didn't solve any question like this when the denominators are the same. If the denominators are the same, the LCM is simply one of the denominators. Are you getting me right? If denominators are the same, the LCM is simply one of the denominators. All right. The denominator of these guys are almost the same. Let me change this one. Let me change it to 1 over 12. Good. Yes. Let me change it to 1 over 12. So that question number 1, the way I got the LCM, you use the knowledge here. Okay. And this one, you're different, and other things. Good. That's good. That is your assignment. Please answer this question. Make sure you answer them in your GMAETS41 online school notebook. You can snap and send it to me. Yes, you can. Make use of the visit community of this channel. See visit community on the homepage. So solve, snap, and send to me. Or you can type your answer in the comment section below. I'll be seeing you in our next class. All right? Take care of yourself and take your studies seriously. Always make sure you study every day. Okay? Study every day. Bye.